Hey y'all. All right, let's get some chit chat with Jen today. So I wanted to come on and talk about one of the hardest areas for me to conquer when it came to stepping into my purpose. And this was the idea that I could actually fail my father. I remember I fought so hard to make sure that I was exceptional in the eyes of God, not realizing that I was made exceptional in His eyes. I remember striving so hard to touch as many platforms so I could reach as many souls as possible so I could just have as much of an impact as I could. And God had to show me that my impact was never going to be measured by my visibility, that my impact was measured by the faithfulness in my steps that I took toward the goals. I had to trust that if I made a mistake or I misunderstood the assignment, that God would redirect me, and that is a part of the process, that all of it is purposeful. I had to trust that my content was going to go where it was going to go, that I didn't need to do any work, that the pressure to be perfect or to be busy, to be conductive, none of that was a part of what I needed to be doing. My job was to allow Him to work through me, to be a willing vessel, and to allow His will to be done. And it was so hard because it's human nature to want to do the best you can. You're taught this. And most of the ones God will call, they're the people who have been groomed to be better than everyone else or to perform and the idea of perfection because they're told they're not enough or shown that they're not enough. And it's really hard because you have to really defeat that part of yourself. I will say, defeating that helped so much, because there were times where I would stop and I had shadows of guilt where it was like, oh, I didn't perform today, I didn't put anything out today. And when I really understood what was going on, I realized that I was causing stress where God was saying, that's not your portion is peace. So if you have pressure, that's a sister to stress. The pressure to perform, the pressure to make something happen. None of that is of God. And I had to accept that and internalize it and then live in it. To recognize that when I had days where I needed to rest, God knew. It was already predestined that it was a rest day for me. I didn't have to announce it. I didn't have to make anybody known of it. I just needed to take what I needed, because that is what He provided for me. This is something I think a lot of people don't realize that they deal with the ideas of building these platforms and wanting to help people. Not everybody is built to do it the way that you think they are. And when you see the platforms that come up and you see the quote-unquote successes, it's easy for you to compare yourself without realizing that's what you're doing. Because you're comparing what success looks like to the world compared to what success looks like to God. I'm happy I was able to defeat that, not only for myself, but to be able to talk about it so other people can understand that is not of Him. So if you are struggling with the pressure of being your best self, being the best you can be, wanting to make sure that you're just top notch, you're on point, not necessary. You are perfect the way you are. You are perfect in your imperfections. And you are perfect in your failures. All of it was designed by God to be that lesson, to be that blessing, and to be that visibility. Love and light, y'all. And peace.